My name's Natalie, and I'm a talk show host from England. I have followed you for years, and I think you are so amazing. Honestly, truly amazing. And I wanted to ask you, because you always come across so classy and so everything's always together. What do you do when you're lacking in confidence? What do you do to deal with that?
I think when I personally lack confidence, I always try to stick to the core of myself, of who I am. I try not to hear too many voices on the outside. Bishop Jakes said to me one time, years and years ago, he said, "You're never as good as they say you are, and you're never as bad as they say you are."
I like that.
And he taught me that Jesus did his own marketing analysis, that he went to the disciples, and this is years ago, he said, "Paul, Jesus did his own marketing analysis." He said, "Who do men say I am?" And they told him everything from "you're a great teacher," to "you're a prophet," to "you're a devil," to "well, you're the Son of God." And he said, but it didn't change who he knew he was. He said, you have to know who you are. So in me, there's been this deep inner well that comes by my faith through God, that really, if I'm quite honest, my confidence has come from God and in God alone. And that sounds so cliche and so simple, but it's so truthful, because there have been a lot of things that have rocked it. There have been a lot of things that have said, you won't make it, you can't do it, you're not ministry material. But I found my calmness and my confidence in Christ, and as long as I hear his voice. So therefore, the biggest thing for me has been walking a true, not a religious, not a church, but a true walk with God every single day. I'm a pretty routine girl, and every day I'm going to get in my word. Some days I might read chapters, some days I might read a book, some days I might read a verse. But I'm going to hear from God every day. I'm going to pray every day. I take communion a lot, and those are just simple things, like for me, exercising and taking vitamins and eating right, keep you in good health. Well, spiritually, I stay healthy, which is where my confidence comes from, by walking with God. And I've been fortunate since I've been saved at 18 years old, almost 32 years now. I never questioned. That has been the one consistent in my life. I've questioned me. I've questioned my relationships. I've questioned everything in life, but I've never questioned that. And that's where the solid comes for me. That's where the grounding comes for me.
Yeah, and I love the fact that you talked about health as well, because the concept of my show is about helping people to maximize their time and balance their life. And I believe there's 7 key areas to do that. So work, health, relationships, spirituality, etc. And we do well in work, and we're very top heavy for work, but when it comes to all the other areas, we don't do so well. So how do you manage to balance all of that? Because you're so busy all the time.
You have to set boundaries in your life. It's as important to know what to say no to as what to say yes to. And I realized early on that I felt this tremendous call of God. I knew that it would take a tremendous, I admittedly can be very much a workaholic, and work, I love do it because it doesn't feel like work to me. I love what I do. I've always been a high energy person, but I recognized that it was important, if I were to truly fulfill this mandate that I felt was by God and take the message around the world, I had to be in good health. Because what if I had a strong spirit and a strong soul, but my body broke on me? And I watched that happen to people that I loved, that they physically broke down and they could not carry that message. So to me, health and wellness became not an option. It was a compulsory, it was a mandate in my life, because I saw it as a responsibility that I had to the Lord, just as much as bringing my tithe into the storehouse. I mean, this sounds funny, but it was so true, because I think especially as believers and Christians, it's the one area that we've kind of stayed ignorant in, unlearned in, and we've said, okay, we don't do this, and so therefore we can eat all this fried food and do all this crazy stuff. But I picked up something almost, 25 years ago or so. Years ago, I was doing some missionary work in Africa, and I picked up things, and they sent me to all the specialists. I went to Mayo Clinic, and they sent me. It ended up getting in my lungs and infectious, and so I went to all these doctors and infectious disease doctors, and they put me on all these meds and all this stuff, and it ended up in a weird way being one of the greatest blessings of my life, because I landed with a holistic doctor who was a medical doctor, but asked me simple questions, and probably I'm getting way too vulnerable here, but asked me stuff like, how often do you go to the bathroom? How much water are you drinking? What's your sleep patterns? Just basic stuff, and I'm thinking, like, how often do I go to the bathroom? What's the importance of that? And he taught me very basics on health and wellness and nutrition. And so every year I do my blood chemistry, what vitamins I'm lacking, what I'm doing. I understand you repair your body from 10 to 2. I understand the importance of sleep. Whether I apply it all the time or not, I do have knowledge of it. And I see it as a responsibility.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. And I'm going to take some of that on board, because I think that's one of the areas where, well, all of it on board, sorry, because that's one of the areas where I maybe don't do so well, is with the health and everything. I'm a workaholic as well, so I totally get where you're coming from.
Yeah, and I think until our body breaks on us, we take it for granted. We take our health for granted until, something will take your breath away that says, wow, this is a gift just as much as anything else.
I agree. So when are you coming back to the UK?
I actually am going to be there the end of this month.
Oh, really?
At KICC.
Oh, yeah,
with
I know.
Pastor Matthew.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh,
and
fantastic.
so I'm there for the conference. I'm going to be there on the 30th. I'm preaching the Sunday services 9 and 11.
Oh, okay.
So I'm excited about that. I love the UK, and I can't wait to be with you guys.
Oh, we love you too, and I will come and see you. I will come and find you in London.
Good.
That would be fabulous.
That's absolutely great.
And thank you so much
Be
for your
blessed.
time today.